Hey YouTube, Brendan again, or The Blueprint. Back at it again with another video. So this video will be a quick one. I'm not planning on it being a super long video. If you guys have been following the Blueprint channel up until now, you've probably seen the first 4 videos that I've already posted. Those are more introduction videos. I'm planning on posting more regular fitness content and exercise science, fitness and health routines for you guys in the future. Just a lot of general fitness content that I've always wanted to show, and hopefully seeing what I've been able to accomplish in my routine will give you guys a good idea of what I'm doing and how it works and the credibility behind it as well. Anyways, the point of this video is basically just to recap my first 4 intro videos and to solidify the message that I'm trying to convey in these first 4 videos that I had posted. Basically, those are just introductions, right? You have why the Blueprint, which is why I chose my name. It's kind of the whole purpose as to the inspiration that came behind it. The Blueprint, once again, is a name that I thought of one day, just thinking of how am I going to convey to the world that this is the correct path. And not only that, but that this is truth, that I was able to prove it and show the world a very realistic approach to be able to reach your fitness goals and your health goals. The Blueprint for me is something that I want to grow in the future, right? Right now, in my mind, I see myself as the blueprint for the world, right? I see myself as a staple in the fitness industry, something that people can look at and know that this is real. This is the truth. There's no fake behind what I'm doing here or what I've done. And so the Blueprint, once again, is basically, it's in the name, right? It's the blueprint. It's the original sketch. It's the origin. It's the truth. It's showing you exactly what you need to do in order to reach this point. It's the plans laid out for you. I'm giving you guys the cheat code. I'm giving you guys the actual answers that this fitness industry does not want you to know. Going along with that, there's 2 things that I want to touch base on. The first thing being that this industry is full of 2 types of people. There's fake people, and then there's real people. The fake people outnumber the real people by quite a bit. And so for the average gym goer or dieter, it's going to be very hard for that person to naturally be able to reach their goals, to be able to maybe get a 6-pack. Maybe you want to get a more sculpted lower chest, or maybe you want to get bigger arms, or you want to grow your calves or your legs, like me, with chicken legs or the skinniest calves man could ever see genetically. Anyways, but because of all the fake information that this lousy industry will post, it can be really difficult for somebody who doesn't know a lot to be able to reach those goals and to actually consistently push for it. Once again, and this is something that I'll touch base on in the future, but just to give you guys a little prelude, if you are following somebody right now, let's say it's on Instagram, I don't care if it's TikTok or Facebook, any social media platform out there, maybe on YouTube, you're subscribed to them right now. And let's say that person has an incredible physique, but let's say that person with that incredible physique is using drugs, right? PEDs, growth hormones, any type of gear whatsoever that's giving them, or an enhancement, right? Enhancements. If they're enhancing their body unnaturally and they're telling you to buy their program and to purchase their books and to follow their channels and to follow their routines, if they're telling you to do all these things, right? And then it comes down to it and you've done their routine, you've done it for maybe 6 months or a year. A lot of them are very fake and promise that you can get a full-blown 6-pack in, 2 months or like 1 month. Or some of them will be like, oh, you can look like me in a year if you just buy my program, or 2 years even, or 3 years. A lot of them promise all of this stuff. So you buy it, you subscribe to their channel, you follow their Instagram, you subscribe to whatever social media platform or account that they have that's feeding you that information, or fake information, in my opinion. Not all of it, of course, but the vast majority of people. And you're just some average gym goer. You don't know all the ins and outs of the industry. You don't know what it really takes to get to that level. All you know is that this person looks good, whether they're a girl or a guy. You're just following because they look hot in their photos, and I want to look like that, right? So you follow them, and then later down the road, let's say you get a month or 2 months in, right? And you haven't even begun to slightly look like what they look like. And they promised you, remember, they might have promised you 1 or 2 year transformation, right? You see all these transformation videos. These guys or girls that are super skinny or like super overweight, and it'll say like 1 to 2 year natural transformation, and they've got boulder shoulders, or like they have a flat stomach, they have abs, they're completely ripped. Their skin is so tight, it looks like a loose sunburn. Like, you have these people who look incredible, and then you reach the 2nd month mark, or maybe even the 3rd month mark, or let's say you hit 6 months and you're just killing it. You're like, man, I've been going consistent on this person's program that they promised me would get me those results for 6 months straight. And I'm halfway there now. But you look in the mirror and you see yourself and you're like, wow, my physique at 6 months doesn't resemble anything close to what their physique looks like when they had their 6 month mark, right? And these people post their transformation videos. I'm just hypothetically saying, if this person posts a transformation video and you're seeing all the pictures and videos throughout that 1 to 2 years of whatever the transformation is, you're watching that and you're looking at your body and you're comparing to them and you're saying, oh my gosh, I don't look like that. I look nothing like that. I haven't even developed like that under part of my pectoral muscle. I don't have a perfect horseshoe even coming in whatsoever on my tricep. I don't have the individual fibers starting to show on my delts or anything. I can't even see half my abs right now. You might have a little bit of a change because you're following their program, and exercise and health is just good no matter what you're doing. But that level of training that they're telling you to do isn't even coming close to being on that level where they're at. And so you get to this point within your fitness journey, right, where you look in the mirror or you just think out loud, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm not even remotely close to this person. There's no way I'm going to look like this in a year or 2 years. And you have this unrealistic expectation in your head. Well, then what happens to most people? They quit. People give up at that point. And so all the fitness influencers in the world, and I'm talking to all of you guys, all of the fake natties, the people who preach their truth, even though it's not true, and you lie so that you can get clout, publicity, money, whatever you want, all of you fake, unnatural influencers and people in this world, you guys are a cancer to the fitness industry, to the entire world. You are detrimental to people's motivation to keep pushing, to have inspiration. You destroy it because it's not sustainable. At the end of the day, if you have somebody who's completely natural and you have somebody else who's completely unnatural, and you take these two people, let's say on both ends though, this person's saying they're natural and this person's saying that they're natural as well, even though we know that they're not. You take an average person in this world. Man, dude, I'm spitting a lot. I got a lot of saliva. Probably because I'm starving right now. I don't know. Anyways, you take both these types of people and you take the average gym goer. They don't know who's natural and who's not. All they think in their head is, yes, they're both saying they're natural, but this one looks way better, right? So obviously they're like, well, you look way better, so I want to look like you, the unnatural person. So then they follow that person. They use that as an example in their minds. That's the goal right there. I want to look like this. So what happens? Typically, one of two things is going to occur. One, they're going to push for these goals. They're going to buy their programs. Like I said, they're going to follow their social media channels. They're going to do everything they possibly can to copy this person down to a T, because that's their goal. And then push comes to shove, they find out 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever this person's program says that they had to do in order to look like them, they're going to push for that. And in that amount of time, they're going to realize, oh my gosh, I don't look like that. This person looks way better than me. So what happens? They're like, well, this person was natural. Like, what's the problem? So you'll have the average gym goer over here, and they'll be like, man, I suck. I guess fitness just isn't in the cards. They give up. That's option one. They give up. Do you understand how detrimental that is to the world, to the entire population of the world, to every human being on planet Earth that is trying their hardest to reach those goals? These goals that you, the fake influencer, the liar, the cheater, has set for them. You've set the bar all the way up here. It's unobtainable without enhancements. And there's hard work that goes into it, and I don't discredit that. People who take drugs still have to work hard. They still have to eat right, and they still have to go to the gym, and they still have to maximize recovery. It's a lot easier when you're up here with enhancements because you're using enhancements. Your body is literally enhanced, but you still have to do this work. However, you still need those enhancements. So at the end of the day, this person who had the first option chose to give up, which means it's not sustainable. At the end of the day, you guys are a poison to the world. When you lie about these unobtainable results, pretending like they are obtainable, people get the wrong idea. They have unrealistic expectations for themselves. And no matter how hard they work, they will not get to your level. That's just how it is. Option two, and that's a negative one. That was option one. That's them quitting. That's a terrible option. Super negative impact on the world. Option two, let's see if option two is a little better. Once again, you have the two people, unnatural, natural. This person standing right here, average gym goer. They see this person, super motivated by how they look. This person looks good. They've been working really hard, but this person's better because they have the enhancements. They don't know this, of course. So then they follow them. Instead of option one and giving up, let's say they do this instead. This is option two. The average gym goer is pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing to reach these goals right here that this unnatural liar has set for them. Now, this person continues to push and they realize, you know what? I'm not getting anywhere. Just like the last time on option one. Although versus giving up, which is option one, option two is this. They decide, you know what? There must be something else. Something I'm missing. Something that is allowing them to reach this level, whereas I'm just stuck down here. I'm more consistent and relatable to the natural guy. To the other guy, because they don't know which one, right? So this person decides there must be something else. So they go and do some research. They look up information about how to reach this level. And then they find the dark part of the fitness industry where they realize, oh my gosh, there are drugs to do this. There's things that can enhance my body, enhancements, in order to reach this level. So then option two is they jump on gear. They take enhancements. That is a negative thing. With that being said, my opinion is this. As the Blueprint, I do not care if you want to go and take drugs. When I say drugs, I mean enhancements, right? If you really want to go out there and you want to go and take enhancements, I don't care what it is, any type of PED out there, and you want to go out and live your life and do that, by all means, go for it. I'm not your boss. I'm not your dad. You guys can do what you want. And quite frankly, somebody who just takes drugs doesn't really bother me a lot. There's a lot of people who do it. Some people just can't resist that adrenaline rush of being able to look that good over here. But at the end of the day, when you look at both those options of those people, one was that they just give up. That's a negative thing. And two is that they keep pushing, but they realize they need drugs in order to do it. Both options are a negative thing. It's poison. You are poisoning the population, your fans, your followers. These people are going down the wrong path. an overarching theme that I'm trying to make crystal clear is that this industry, the fitness industry, lies. Majority. A lot of people might get angry about that. A lot of people might disagree about that. I am here to preach the truth. It has been a decade of me researching this industry, of me getting my hands dirty to find all the dark and manipulative crap in this industry. I have spent a very, very long time. Like I said, it's been a decade of trying to figure out and weave through all the garbage in this industry what is actually true. Unfortunately, there is so much garbage and there are so many liars in this industry that it is almost impossible as an average gym goer or just a regular person to really discover the truth. You have to do loads of research. And I know this because I did it, which is what was explained in my fitness journey videos. That was just a sample of it too, for the sake of time. I had to do so much work in order to really get to this level to show people what the truth is. To give you a clear example, you're never going to look like Chris Hemsworth in Thor. You're not going to look like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson the way he looks right now at 56 or however old he is. It's just not going to happen. These bodybuilders, these fitness influencers that you follow, I'd estimate, and people would probably call me out on this a lot, I'd estimate about 95% of these people are lying. And you know the other part about it too? There's going to be a lot of people who are angry at me for saying that and probably like, why are you so serious, Brendan? Just do your own thing. You don't need to worry about them. It's because it's a negative thing in this world. And I am one of those victims who had to sit there and go through it for a decade just to find out that it wasn't true. Granted, I already had the idea in my head through loads of research that it wasn't going to happen. I set realistic expectations for myself early on. That's the only reason why I was able to consistently push the way I did more than 99% of this world has ever even attempted to do. Probably 99.9% of this world has even attempted to do. I trained as hard as bodybuilders, professional athletes do, so that I could show the world what it really looks like as a crystal clear, pure natural. What it actually looks like as a pure natural to work out for X amount of time, to eat right for X amount of time, to do this consistently for X amount of time. For me, we're looking at it almost about 8 years now. I was able to do it. And I did that so that I could show the world what it looks like as a pure natural after training for so long. Keep in mind, when I say training, and I don't mean just average gym goer, I just stop in the gym for 30 minutes, 5 days out of the week. I mean an hour and a half to 2 hours every day of consistent, solid training. I mean solid form and technique. I mean dieting techniques, proper dieting. Everything is on par with an elite. Actually, even better than elites. You look at people like Jay Cutler, and because he's on roids and needs so much fuel to keep himself going and at his level, he's drinking an entire pitcher of Kool-Aid. And Ronnie Coleman is able to go to a restaurant and order cornbread and get like crispy fried chicken. I didn't do that stuff, right? And by all means, they can do it. They looked incredible. They won the Olympias. They're awesome. There's no shade towards them. But the point is that they're not the only ones. Unnaturals can go and do those things, right? And if you're natural, you can go do those things too. I'm not saying you can't. Some people have better genetics than others. However, the difference is that with me, I wanted to prove to the world what it looks like to do what they say consistently and almost perfectly. I lean bulked. I didn't dirty bulk. I lean bulked for the past 5.5 years or so, something like that, 5 or 5.5 years. On top of that, I main gained and exercised consistently with a solid diet for 7 years in total. I've been actually exercising 6 out of 7 days a week for the past, 8 years now? It's been I think 8 for the past 8 years now, or 8.5. So all of this work that I've been putting in the entire time, and you'll see that in those videos that I posted, the first 4 introduction videos, you'll see my journey, my transformation. I posted real results. I showed you guys when I was really skinny. I showed you when I was really fat. I showed you the ups and downs. I was completely honest. I don't care to sit there and be like, oh my gosh, I like, just see me with abs. Just look at my abs. This is so cool, right? I don't care. I want you to see the final picture that I posted in the transformation is literally me at my peak bulk, looking like, and I think I said like Mr. Incredible from The Incredibles after he's got his dad bod and has gained all his weight. Like I posted the final photo is me looking fat. And I wanted people to see that. I wanted to show the what it looks like, regardless if you lean, bulk, and train super well, after that amount of time, what you'll still look like at the end of the day. I want to give people, the point of what I'm saying is I want to give people realistic expectations. That's it. And so everything that I did in those videos that I showed you that I've done in my past to present has been to prove to you guys the truth. Let's all nod together, right? That's to prove the truth. Hollywood is fake. The fitness industry is fake. 95% of the fitness influencers that you follow right now as we speak, or even just watch their videos, are fake. Final thought that I want to say is this. Being a part of the Blueprint isn't just about being natural. And I just want to make this clear that you can be a part of the Blueprint even as an unnatural person. If you're using enhancements, like I said, I don't care. That's your path. It's your life. Do what you want to do. I don't have any control over you. You have your own agency to make that choice. But what I can't stand is the lying. So you can be a part of the Blueprint, but if you are lying, that's where it crosses the line. If you dabbled in drugs at an earlier age, and then you claim nowadays that you don't take them, whether you do or don't, it doesn't matter to me. If you're lying that you only took drugs at this specific age, even though in reality you were taking drugs the entire time, right? Or like, I'll give a perfect example. Alex Eubank. He says that he's completely natural and all up until now where he started dosing on, I think TRT. Like he's taking testosterone at the end of the day. And so he claims to be natural prior to that the entire time. But as far as right now goes, he's saying he's completely open and honest that he's not natural anymore, which is cool and all. But at the same time, it's like, were you really natural? Did you really never take clomiphene? Did you really never do anything prior to this while you were hanging out with the Trend Twins? Anyways, he can do whatever he wants. The point is that there are people like that in the world who claim that in X amount of time, I never did anything, and then I started about this time. Even though in reality, and they try to claim like, oh, this is just my genetics. I just look so good. It's like, okay, what am I, chopped liver? I literally just worked 3 times as hard as you did for the past decade. And I was able to get relatively close to your peak. Relatively close. I'm not even there. And I worked way harder than you ever did. And so what does that say? Well, there's always the genetics argument, and I'll end with this. And I'll talk about this in a future video. I'll go way more into depth, but to keep it short, the genetics argument is the dumbest pile of crap argument I have ever heard in my entire life. And I'm about to drop this bombshell on everybody in this world, on every fitness influencer in this world. To all the fitness influencers and the fitness industry that claim that genetics are the one dividing factor that keeps you separate from everybody else. The ones, and to give you guys an example, if you're that average gym goer, going back to the example with the unnatural and the natural person, and you're following this person's program and you can't do it, let's say you give up or you decide to use drugs, whatever it is, one of the 2 options. And then you go to this person, you confront him, and you're like, hey, I gave up on this because it wasn't working. You promised me after 1 year I'd have these results like you. And then they'll look at you and they'll claim, well, you're not me. You don't have my genetics. I have superior genetics. Guys, for one, human beings in general are almost constructed the exact same way. There's barely any difference between the average human being. Granted, genetically speaking, some people have better muscular features and physiology than other people. That's a real thing. It really is. My wife naturally has slightly bigger calves than the average girl. She's also really short, but she carries really big calves. My sister doesn't have really big calves. She's also short too. And so there's different levels to it, right? Some people have really good muscle insertions, but then the rest of their body isn't that great. Some people have, like me, I am cursed with small calves. I've been training my calves consistently for 8 years now. 8 years is a long time, and they don't look like I don't have Lee Priest calves, right? They don't look incredible. They look a lot better than what they were originally. The point is that genetics is a real thing. However, and I'm about to destroy this argument for every fitness influencer out there that wants to use genetics as their excuse of why their program failed you, or why their cookbook failed you, or why all the information and knowledge or videos, whatever it is that they posted, failed you. There is no reason for them to follow you, to subscribe to you, to buy your products, to buy your programs, to buy your books. There is no reason for them to listen to you if you have superior genetics. And you know why? Because the whole point of why majority of these people are going to follow you, the unnatural person, right? The majority of the reason why these people are following you is because they want to look like you. It's that simple. You posted your body and you allowed people to see this, and you set an expectation and a bar too high for everybody else to hit. So then let's pretend like your genetics are superior. This is your argument, right? You're saying your genetics are superior. Let's pretend like that's the case, okay? So you right here, whoever you are, fitness influencer, male or female model, I don't care, you have the superior genetics, right? And then all these people out here, your subscribers, your followers, they don't, right? They're all just garbage. They don't have any of it, okay? And they're following this program because they want to look like you, but they're never going to look like you. And so it's basically pointless to follow you. You might have some good wisdom and some good information, like eating healthy or going to the gym for X amount of time, training, doing cardio to help your cardiovascular system. You might have things that you say and preach that are true, right? You might have some good ideas here and there, but at its core, they are still following you and everything you do because they want to look like you, and they will never look like you because you have, as to what you've claimed, superior genetics. And so this idea that you have superior genetics has now lost all credibility, right? And this is the truth that I will preach to this world. This is what everybody will understand. And they won't follow you anymore. They won't subscribe to you anymore unless if you tell the truth. Basically, the fitness influencer, the unnatural, the liar, the person who is not being honest, has two options. Option one, they sit there and they say, well, I have superior genetics, right? You give people the ammo or the option to deny you at that point. Because the truth is that if you have these genetics and they're following you just to look like you, that means that they're never going to look like you. You just admitted to the world, because you have these superior genetics, that they shouldn't follow you because they're never going to look like you, which is their purpose. I hope that makes sense. They have a purpose to look like you. You're telling them you're not going to look like you by admitting that you have these amazing genetics. Therefore, they don't follow you. They should not follow you. You will lose all your credibility. I promise you, you will lose all your credibility because you guys, you liars, you cheaters, the people who aren't honest, they choose to lie and cheat. They choose to not be honest with the world. And so you do not deserve people's attention because you didn't do it properly. If you were to be open and honest about what you do and take, that's cool. That's totally fine. Be honest about it. Tell the world, I did X, or I was using X for X amount of time, and these are my results. Be honest about it. It's not about, I get the idea. If it's like a money grab thing for you, like, fine, you can keep doing it. But like I said, I'm going to disband all of this. There will be no more, I'm following this person, they're natural. Like, it's not going to happen anymore. Because as long as you guys continue to claim that you're natural when you're not, and you claim that it's all just because of your genetics and your hard work, I already proved the hard work part of it. I just spent the last 8 years, I pushed past the genetic limit as well, just to give it some extra insurance to show you guys, yeah, it's not true. It's not true. Sorry. You're not going to look like Mike Thurston. You're not going to look like Matt Does Fitness. You're not going to look like, any fitness influencer out there. You're not going to look like David Lade or Jeff Seid. You're not going to look like any of them. I proved it. David Lade, within his 3-year transformation, looks better than I do right now. And I've been training for 8 years. And he was a twig. He was an ectomorph. He has no muscle development whatsoever. He might have really good and decent insertions. If you compare and contrast just the body in general from where I'm at right now versus where he was at his 3-year mark, I'm like kind of close, but I'm still like so far away from that. And that's with 8 years of training. His was done in 3 years while he was like a teenager? Like what? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm going to go on rants about this in future videos, but just understand this. All the liars, the cheaters, the fakes in this fitness industry, understand this. It's over. There is going to be no more lying in this industry. The truth is going to come out. All of you guys who lie and manipulate people into buying your programs and making you think that you're actually natural when you're not, it's done. There will be no more genetic excuses. It's over. Because if you keep claiming that you have the best genetics in the world, then I will make sure nobody follows you, because there's no point to follow you. They're never going to look like you. They're wasting their time. You know what they can look like, though? Me and other naturals in the world who are actually natural. People who are pure naturals, who actually decided they weren't going to cheat in order to reach these results and goals. People who decided, I want to actually do what's right. I want to show the world what it actually looks like to work that hard and to reach that level and then show that to people. And that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I've done. And I'm going to continue to do. Anyways, it's a very intense video. My first 4 videos, including this one, are very intense. Like, honestly, it's been, a decade of me planning this. So you can only imagine there's a lot of passion that goes into this as well. And as far as right now goes, I'm going up against an industry that has been lying and doing the same crap for, longer than I've even been alive. And so you can understand that there's going to be a lot of passion in my voice and things that I'm saying. Going forward in the future, I can assure you my videos that are more just centered around fitness content, just basic fitness content and good training sources, good information, good exercise science, all those videos will be a lot more calm and chill. I can assure you that. These first 5 videos are illustrating the point of what I've been doing this entire time and why I've been doing it and who I am and what it's taken to get to this point. Guys, if you're watching a fitness influencer right now and they claim that they're reaching this goal and they just look insane and they're claiming they reached this goal in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, even 5 years, it's such a lie. Stop listening to them. Hollywood is fake. You can't look like a bodybuilder in just 3 months, just eating chicken and broccoli. It is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and I feel so bad for anybody out there who believed in those people and got crushed, and they crushed your dreams. I'm so sorry. I really feel for you guys because I've been there. But follow my channel and subscribe, because I promise you, I will show you the truth. I will give you realistic expectations. And you know what? My goals and what I've been able to accomplish, hold on, my pits are very sweaty. My goals and my achievements in my life are actually pretty cool. I showed the world as a natural that you really can have an 8-pack like Taylor Lautner in Twilight, or look as shredded as What's-His-Buckets does in Tarzan. I showed that you can actually gain a crap ton of muscle naturally over a very long period of time with very good training and dieting. I showed a lot of capabilities of like what you can actually look like. You know, I've shown that I can walk into a gym as a pure natural with a lot of hard work and determination, that I can look almost as good as a lot of the fake natties in the gym. Obviously, if they're on like some bodybuilding level, I'm not even going to compare, but a lot of those people who are just, in the majority of them, who you see in the gym that just look really good, you're like, whoa, they look a little too good. Majority of those people are on gear. And then on top of that, there's a lot of people who don't even look that good, who are on gear just because they're trying to get to that level. And the cool thing is that my achievements, they show that. You know, if you see my body, a lot of those pictures in my transformation video, while I was really cut before I got a lot fatter in my bulk stage, like I looked really good as a pure natural. That's pretty cool. You know, I was able to show that, you know, I had a really good body during that time, like better than most Hollywood actors, honestly, except Chris Hemsworth with like 25-inch biceps or arms or whatever. And he was able to accomplish it in just 4 months. Like, I was able to show it, which is pretty cool, in my opinion. The point of me saying that is that it's not a bad thing to be a pure natural, right? If you decide to go down that road and you decide to use enhancements, by all means, if you want to choose that, feel free to. Just be honest about it. Don't lie. I follow way more fitness influencers who have come out and spoken about their usage of enhancements, and I follow those people way more than I do of anybody who is, in fact, actually, I don't follow anybody that I think is lying about their usage, that isn't open and honest. All the people who have come out and said that they were honest and truthful, I follow them because it's cool to be able to see that. That's integrity. That just shows that this person really doesn't want to, you know, lie to anybody. They don't want to set those unrealistic expectations. And a lot of those people do really well in this industry. Actually, majority of the top influencers in this industry on YouTube, on social media platforms, the most successful ones are the ones that are open and honest about their enhancement usage. And so that's pretty cool. Being natural is definitely the way to go. Starting in 2025 and going forward into the future, this is the way to do it. And if you use, tell the truth. If you don't use it, great. Keep pushing, because there are awesome and real achievements that you can actually accomplish, and you'll be amazed with how you look. Whether you're a girl or a guy, you'll get to that point in the future where you work so hard as a pure natural and you have the body that I was able to achieve, and you'll recognize how much people notice you and how cool it is for people to actually be amazed by what you've been able to accomplish. If you're a guy out there and you're watching this and you're like, man, I was really hoping that, you know, that Brendan was gonna tell me that I could look like Simeon Panda. I'm sorry, it's not real. You're not gonna look like that, but you can still look amazing. You can look really good. And if you just look at my transformation video, you can see that I look pretty darn good, in my opinion. I think most people would agree. And I would go to the gym. I would get hit on by a lot of girls. A lot of people thought I looked really good. I'd get a lot of compliments from the guys. Usually it's more guys than girls, but I would get compliments from either party regardless a lot. Almost every time I went to the gym, when I reached my 2 to 2.5 year point of my bulk, I was getting compliments almost every time I went to the gym. And I was strong too, which was cool. I had guys who were on gear who were literally telling me in the gym their cycles. And those people I was lifting with, we'd be working in together as partners on a certain machine just to share it. And they'd be like, so what do you take? And I'd be like, nothing. I don't take anything. Absolutely nothing. They'd be like, what? There's no way. And I'd be pulling a full rack of a lat pull down. Or I'd be deadlifting over 400 pounds, 500 pounds. And they'd be like, there's no way. Dude, it's just a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. You know, it's a real thing. So don't be afraid to be natural, guys. Achieve those goals. Watch my channel. I'm going to post a lot of fitness content to be able to show you guys what to do, actually, I'm going to show you. My next videos are going to be my diet and fitness routine. So you guys can actually see what I did and what it actually took. I'm not going to say that it's a silver bullet and that I have the only routine on planet Earth that works. There's routines that are better than mine that work, you know. But for the most part, like, I worked extremely hard to be able to reach my goal and to be able to get to this point. And I did the things that this fitness industry says is the best things to do. So, you know, with that being said, I'll go over those routines in the future. I'm super excited to honestly really give more information on this, but these first 5 videos were just introduction videos to me, my content, my profile, just who I am, how I did it, what I did, why I do it. And I hope that this conveys just a solid message that, my channel is a safe place. This is somewhere where you guys can trust and follow to know that this is real content that's going to actually allow you guys to achieve amazing results. And with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I'm planning to post new content starting next week with more exercise science and fitness and diet routine based content. I can't wait to show it to you guys. Hope to catch you in the next one. Thanks. Peace.